and go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, when we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And so, and Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this, I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it, because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore? I mean, you did it when you were in school, you did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Something, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
5, 3, 1.
Red 57, Red 57, hot.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Wednesday. Thanks for joining us, Kyle Wicks, Greg Hunter in Morgantown. Brad's on the bus in Cincinnati. They've landed, and they've been there for a while. They're headed for Fifth Third Arena to get a practice in. So we're going to be joined by him later in the show. So another full show. Greg, good evening.
Good evening, Kyle. How are you?
I'm well. We'll hear what Jasper Floyd said about round 2 against Cincinnati coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And then, as we've talked all week, the basketball teams are on the road, at least until Sunday. Mountaineer men are back home Sunday to host Texas Tech. But the women play tonight, right?
Yeah,
the women play tonight at Colorado. Men play at Cincinnati tomorrow. So if you are looking for a Mountaineer sporting event to attend, the wrestling team will host Missouri. That's number 16, West Virginia 16, Missouri's number 20, and probably underranked. Probably better than the 20th team in the country. Their schedule's been brutal. So we'll preview that, West Virginia against Missouri, Friday night. We'll hear from Coach Tim Flynn coming up on the sports line. And then again, we'll clear out the last 15 minutes or so of the show for Brad once they arrive at the arena and practice gets underway. It'll be nice to hear the balls dribbling in the background and the squeaking going on. So he'll join us from WVU's practice at Cincinnati. 42-minute flight, 42-minute charter flight from, I guess, Clarksburg to Cincinnati.
That works out pretty well.
Yeah.
After so many that could be 3-4 hours in length, the quick one, and by far the quickest when you're going to be talking about conference play, is certainly got to be enjoyable for everybody in the travel party. So not only getting over, but especially in getting back after tomorrow night.
So we'll hear from Brad coming up. Let's start the evening off by hearing from WVU point guard Jasper Floyd. First of all, it was signing day, right, for football. So technically the high school players that have committed signed today, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them obviously signed in December, and a vast, vast majority did so. There may be technically 1 or 2 signees for West Virginia today and during this period. Don't know of anybody yet, but again, some that had committed to West Virginia a little bit later and didn't sign during that early period could sign during this one. We'll have to wait and see. But this will not have a whole lot of numbers to it. Certainly not anything like what we saw through the transfer portal in January or through the signing period with JUCO and high school guys in December. Couple maybe at the most, but we'll wait and see.
Also tonight we've got high school sports line coming up, so stay tuned for that, 7:06 until 9 o'clock, and I'll go over the lineup for that. It's pretty packed tonight. We had a couple of, or at least one late edition that kind of expanded the roster of guests tonight, but it should be a good show. That's high school sports line, 7:06 until 9 o'clock. Again, the Mountaineers in Cincinnati, and WVU point guard Jasper Floyd speaking to the media earlier this week. We talked at length last night with our guest from the Cincinnati Enquirer, where we got into the first matchup between West Virginia and Cincinnati. Scott Springer from the Cincinnati Enquirer was with us, and we went in detail about West Virginia's win, 62-60 over Cincinnati. That was January 6th in Morgantown, and it was the first Big 12 Conference home game for the Mountaineers. It was after they had started on the road at Iowa State, came back and beat Cincinnati. Mountaineer guard Jasper Floyd, what did he remember about that first match of the season with Cincinnati?
I think we just had that sense of urgency as a team. We did a better job of locking in. They went on like a 9-0 run or something like that late in the second half, and then we only gave up like 5 points after that for real. And so we had a higher sense of urgency on defense, and then on offense, some of our players made really big plays, and that's what really good players do.
Yeah, it was the back-to-back three-point shots, one by Honor Huff, and then that crazy shot made by Eagle Staff right in front of the bench. They were in his face, practically pushing him out of bounds. He beats the shot clock with a three-pointer, and West Virginia completed that comeback in the win over Cincinnati, 62-60 the first time around.
Yeah, and again, we'll see if West Virginia can duplicate some of that, especially some of the late game stuff that they did so well. These are two of the better defensive teams in the Big 12, so don't necessarily look for this thing to be extremely high scoring, but we'll see how West Virginia handles things. And we've talked a great deal, and Coach Hodge just talked a lot about it. The start for West Virginia and the slow starts they've had in the past 4 games probably can't afford that on the road tomorrow night. West Virginia has overcome poor starts in 2 of the 4 recent games, but the other 2 certainly contributed with West Virginia's losses.
You talk about the defense, but statistically, Greg, these are, at least points per game-wise, the 2 worst offensive teams in the Big 12 Conference.
Yeah, well, in some of that is pace of play.
Right.
I mean, West Virginia is deliberately slow because they're going to rely on their defense, and then they want you to guard them for the entire shot clock. So, and then, Cincinnati is not any faster. So if you're looking for a huge up and down game, that's not what you're likely to see tomorrow night.
Jasper Floyd, his first season with West Virginia, of course, he came with Ross Hodge from North Texas. Last year at North Texas, led the team with 141 assists, led the team with 48 steals, came on as a scorer in the postseason in the NIT, and finished his season last year right around 9 points per game, 9 points, 4 assists per game. And Jasper, in his first season with West Virginia, averaging just shy of 7 points per game, and he does lead the team with 67 assists on the year. So Jasper Floyd, on his first season after transferring to West Virginia's first season with the Mountaineers.
For me personally, it's been great. Like, I have my girlfriend and my son here. They have a really good time here. We try to do as much as we can for the off time that I get around here. Like the food around here. Whenever I do go out, people are always, saying something or trying to get my attention to, let them know that they're here to support us and they want to see us do good. So from that aspect, off the floor, it's been really good. And then on the floor, I just, been trying to do as much as I can to not only help my team win, but, satisfy the fans around here too, in the state and the supporters. So, my time here has been really well, and I'm more than blessed to have this opportunity.
That's good to know. Blessed by being here in West Virginia and in Morgantown playing for the Mountaineers, senior guard Jasper Floyd.
Did go on to say he wasn't a fan of the cold. But other than that, has really enjoyed his experience here.
Yeah, came from Texas to West Virginia, and he's a Florida guy.
Yeah.
So from Florida to Texas to here, I could see where that would be a problem. But Jasper Floyd, it's good that he is around to mentor the young players like Amir Jenkins, his backup at the point guard position. Again, Jasper, a senior, a veteran guy, has been around a lot, and Amir Jenkins can learn a lot from a veteran like him.
Yeah, very much so. So, yeah, nice way to learn under a very veteran player. But I think for all these Mountaineers, young or old, this last stretch is going to, determine a whole lot. And this stretch starts tomorrow at Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is certainly not an easy game by any stretch, but the Mountaineers are going to have a chance at, even talking NCAA tournament this is the type of game you got to go win.
And the rematch with Cincinnati, West Virginia did a great job defensively, again, as we documented last night with both Brad and with our guest from Cincinnati, Scott Springer. Cincinnati's big players not really effective, at least scoring the basketball the first time around. And, of course, that could be, hopefully the Mountaineers can still contain them, but likely to be a different story in the rematch tomorrow. Mountaineer guard Jasper Floyd on the size Cincinnati has.
It's tough because, we all have a goal in mind. And I think the best thing for us is to focus on what's now. And because I believe and we believe we still control our own destiny.
Second half of the season there.
Yeah. So, again, those big men for Cincinnati are certainly big forces, though their backcourt with Day Thomas and Jizzle James is outstanding as well. So we'll see. The Bearcats have had some injury situations, some illness to a lot of players. So one thing you got to do is wait and see who takes the court at fifth, third.
We talk about the standings in this league, and there's a definite line there in terms of upper division and second division teams. West Virginia still in the upper division, 5-4 in conference play, a half game behind BYU, and actually several teams, half game or at least one game in the loss column behind a group that includes BYU, Texas Tech, and Central Florida. And then the drop-off. All the teams in the back half, the second half of the division, are under 500, including Cincinnati, who's 3-6. So, again, to stay in that upper half of the conference standings and keep your NCAA tournament hopes alive, got to win this one.
Yeah, and it means something. I mean, the top 8 get a bye in the first round of the Big 12 tournament. So that certainly is something you look forward to if you want to get through Kansas City with any kind of hope. You can't play all those games in consecutive days. So getting into the top 8 is huge for the women. Top 4 is even bigger because you get a double bye. So those are the type of things you start to look at, and you get a win tomorrow. It puts you in really good stead in that regard. Puts a Cincinnati further behind, but moves you up the ladder. Your conference record's pretty good, but it all is going to be determined. Not all of it. There's other games to go, but it starts tomorrow.
304 Talk 304. That's the text line. We'll check the texts. We've got Brad coming up from the practice floor in Cincinnati. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll preview Friday's final home wrestling match of the season, West Virginia and Missouri, a pair of ranked Big 12 conference teams. That conversation is coming up. This Valentine's Day, fall in love with your internet again. CityNet Gig Fiber delivers fast, reliable speeds with no contracts, no data caps, and local West Virginia support. And right now, new customers can get 50% off any internet plan for one full year, with plans starting at just $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet, love at first speed.
This Valentine's Day, show your household a little love with better internet. CityNet Gig Fiber is built for real life in West Virginia. Streaming, working from home, gaming, and staying connected with the people who matter most. With fast, symmetrical speeds, no contracts, no data caps, and local support available 24/7, CityNet delivers internet you can rely on. And right now, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for one full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown.
A WVRC media event.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Calva Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Calva, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kirchhoff. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
CityNet statewide sports line for this Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll get back to the basketball talk coming up. Brad's going to join us from Cincinnati. Kyle Wiggs and Greg Hunter in the Health Plan Studios as the sports line continues. Friday night, we've got WVU against Missouri in collegiate wrestling. It's the final home match of the season for the Mountaineers, who are ranked in the top 20. Missouri is ranked. It should be an excellent matchup at the Coliseum. WVU wrestling coach Tim Flynn joins us. Coach, good evening. Thanks for your time again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I want to take you back real quick. There's two really, really dramatic wins in a row for your team at the Coliseum, Oklahoma, and most recently in the Beauty and the Beast matchup with Wyoming. And it came down again to you started at 141, which means 25 and 33 were last. At 33, you had your true freshman, Gunnar Andrick, West Virginia native, against a ranked wrestler. And it, again, came down to that last matchup for Andrick to clinch it for West Virginia. If he gets beat, you end up tied. He goes into the final period, and it's tied at 4, and he rode the guy out the entire 2 minutes of the third period, got the ride time point, and won 5-4. And I sat there watching that, amazed that he was able to accomplish that. So what was the thought process there, and was that the strategy going in to that third period for him to ride him out that entire third period?
You know, at first we thought, like, you know, because the kid from Wyoming's he's a tough kid. And he's a local kid. He's from like the Pittsburgh area. So we knew he'd be hard to ride, but he rode him for a little bit. Then we were like, oh wow, should he let him go? But if he lets him go, he's losing. He needs a takedown. And then we were like, heck, let's see if he can hold him down. And Gunner's a tough kid. He's doing a great job for us, and obviously helped us win a dual meet.
Yeah, I mean that's really kind of down into the minutia of, especially for those who didn't see it, but it really, really was a dramatic finish, and that's two times in a row. Rune Lawrence got a huge win for you late in the matchup against Oklahoma, and a pin, as a matter of fact, to win that one. So you've got a crowd pleasing team, at least the last two matches.
Not a coach pleasing. I mean, it's exciting for the fans, and to be honest, we dropped one like that against Pitt. When we were away, we had a match at 184 where Ian Bush had a kid's ankle, and they almost awarded a takedown. If they would have, we probably would have won the duel. And so all these last couple matches, and teams ranked from 12 to 25, I think, are all very similar. And you've got to You've got to get bonus wins. You've got to really, beat up the kids you can beat up, or you've got to get some upsets, and lately that's kind of what we've been doing.
So, Tim, as Kyle pointed out even before you came on, you guys have played an incredibly difficult schedule. I think this is the sixth team that's rated you got coming in this Friday. A lot of that's just life in the Big 12, but not all of it, because you have a couple of ranked teams from non-conference play. The benefits of facing a schedule like that, and injuries are part of wrestling as well, because that make the injury situation that much more difficult?
I just always think injuries are going to happen. You can get injured playing a game before practice. You can get injured slipping on the ice. I think if we have them prepared right, and they compete hard and warm up right, we don't really worry about that. But, the advantage is obviously the kids are tested when it comes to the Big 12 and NCAA tournament. They've wrestled a lot of the top guys. So it's not like you're going there with your mouth open in awe of the tournament. These are all kids we've already competed against, the whole season.
You've got 6 guys ranked in the coaches poll that came out, I believe, last week. And obviously that poll is important in terms of seeding eventually when you get to the NCAA tournament. So kind of take us through these ranked individuals. You've got 2 in the top 10. Ty Waters has spent time at number 1 at 157, and Jet Strickenberger at 125 has been in the top 10 all year. So your thoughts on these individuals that are ranked and your expectations for them as you come down the stretch here.
My thoughts are, I think they are in a group of people at those weight classes that can be NCAA champion. And I don't say that lightly. I think Ty and Jet have both, won Big 12 titles. Ty's obviously been a All-American, a couple years ago. So these kids, if they compete well and prepare well and, things go their way, they are good enough to win the national wrestling tournament. And there's not many kids out there that can say that, That being said, there's just a lot of good kids out there. So, you're a little bit off, it's not going to happen. So we have to make sure they're at their best and ready to go here at the end of the year.
Another guy who's ranked is the true freshman we just talked about, Gunnar Andrick, who's 16 at 133 and has steadily climbed through the rankings, a graduate of Point Pleasant High School and one of 3 West Virginia guys in your lineup.
Yeah, Gunnar, as I said earlier, he's a really tough kid. Like when you talk about, a wrestler being tough, he's just mentally tough. He's physically tough. He's in great shape, does all the right things. And, we love that Gunnar's a Mountaineer.
You guys have your home finale this Friday, which is odd because there's a lot of regular season left before you get to the Big 12 tournament next month. Is this a little weird for you? This is sort of the senior night and the home finale?
Yeah, I think it's just, sometimes the schedule, plays out differently. We'll take one trip to Iowa and wrestle Iowa State in northern Iowa, and I think then we go to Lock Haven, which isn't too far away, so that's up into Pennsylvania. So while we're not home for a couple weeks, we're really only 1 I say bad travel, on long travel. So it's not too bad.
And as Greg mentioned, it is senior night. So Jet's a senior. We mentioned him. And Jordan Titus, a senior in your lineup. It's a relatively young team, but if you can, take a moment and talk about those two seniors that are in the lineup and the rest of your senior group.
Yeah, Jet came to us, he didn't come right out of high school, and he came on a visit, and we just really, he's a different kid, and we love him, and so talented and just a fun guy, so he's just really fit in well, and we're so lucky to get him here. Jordan, the same thing. Jordan's been in the lineup, I think, every year. He's been a starter for multiple years, so and done a lot of good work for us. So, those guys are going to be missed for sure.
So, Tim, every coach wants their team peaking at the end of the season. Is there any way to tune up a wrestling program and have them competing at their very best as you head towards a conference tournament and then the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, with wrestling, and I don't know what it's like in other sports. I don't coach other sports, but it's actually we want them to be fresh. It's a long year. These kids do train in the summer. Some of them compete in tournaments outside of the school year in the spring. So it's a long year of wrestling. So we actually will do less work here at the end, trying to put more work into less time. So instead of an hour and a half practice, you might have an hour or 45-minute practice and try to get more work done in less time. And just keep them on their diets, and the better they feel at the end of the year, I think the better they'll do.
Another ranked team coming in, Missouri. Their lineup looks pretty stacked. We visited with their head coach today, Brian Smith, a guy who's been doing it for a long time, and I know you've got a history with Coach Smith, but he's, I guess, a few times the last 3 or 4 times the last few years, he's qualified all 10 of his starters for the NCAA tournament, and it looks like this Missouri team is capable of that again, or at least coming close. Scout Missouri for us and give us a couple of weight classes to look out for, a couple of matches that stand out to you.
Yeah, well, Brian always does a good job, and they've been a top 10 program for many years now. It's, if you call anything, this is a down year for them, being a top 20 team. So, we think, very highly of Missouri. And, it's kind of like these last couple duels. There's a couple matches where we're favored. There's a couple where we're not. And I don't really know. I don't see a lot of toss-ups, to be honest. I think they're favored at 6. If you just look at rankings, which, obviously – hey, we got to do it on the mat, but those upper weights, they've got some good upper weights, and we're going to have to steal one of those from, Ty's weight up, after Ty. So 165 to heavyweight, we're going to have to get a couple wins there.
Mm-hmm. And another one of the in-state guys in the lineup, Ian Bush, he's ranked at 184, and I know Missouri's got a real young wrestler at 84 that's in the top 5 in the country, and Aiden Sinclair. So that may be an interesting one to watch.
Oh, for sure. Sinclair, he's phenomenal. I mean, he's a guy that's, in the conversation of, hey, this is a young kid that can win a national championship as a freshman. And we have a guy that we love. And Ian competes well against good wrestlers. So I'm really excited to see that match.
Well, Coach, we're excited for it too. Friday night, 7 o'clock, West Virginia, ranked number 16 against number 20, Missouri. And the final opportunity to see the Mountaineer wrestling team at home. We're hoping for a good crowd, and we'll see you there on Friday.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right, thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
Coach Tim Flynn there, his wrestlers closing out the home portion of the schedule Friday night.
Yeah, they've had a great season, but a lot still to go.
They've got 6 guys ranked. Missouri's got 8 guys ranked, so there's a lot of good matchups there on Friday night. We'll take a break, and we'll go to the text line. We anticipate hearing from Brad late in the show as well. 304-TALK-304. That is the number to text us here on the Sports Line. Since 1979, the health plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The health plan.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps, and never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Coming to Parkersburg High School, February 6th and 7th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on Metro News Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download Metro News Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Hoka Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Hoka Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Hoka Valley office to apply or call us. Hoka Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Sportsline for Wednesday. Mountaineers at Cincinnati coming up tomorrow night. We found Brad. He made it.
You located him?
Yeah, we found him. He's at practice, right, Brad?
Hi, guys. Yeah, I am at practice. Sorry if you were trying to get me there. We were in the basement subterranean practice gym, and I realized I didn't have cell signal.
Oh.
I just ran up to the concourse, and that's when I texted you. So good to be with you.
Okay, so we're not going to hear the basketballs bouncing and the sneakers squeaking.
You will not.
Okay.
You will not. I'm 2 levels up now.
All right, so what's that facility like? So they've got their practice facility below the main floor?
Yeah, so there's a game tonight. The Baylor women and the Cincinnati women are getting ready to tip off here in just a little bit. So we're down in in a practice gym just for the shoot around. And yeah, it's kind of stacked on top of each other. So we're down a couple levels where they have some of their Olympic sports locker rooms and then the practice gym off the side. So this night, the night before games for West Virginia, it's really not even a practice so much as it's a chance to get the guys over, stretch the legs out, get some shots up, and we'll be here another 20 minutes probably or so, and then head back for some more film and dinner. So not an extensive, heavy workout tonight, just getting out and getting stretched.
So do they get any shoot around in the main arena tomorrow or anything? Because, I mean, nobody's played there. Maybe somebody did non-conference-wise that I'm unaware, but it'd be nice to get a little shots in there. Does West Virginia get a chance tomorrow before they go out for warm-ups?
Yep, we'll be over there mid-morning, right around noon, and they'll get more of a workout in, goes through some drills, more of a practice setting. Still just a walk-through type of day, but get some shots up, get a little sweat going. So, yes, they'll be in the gym and get a look at it tomorrow.
Okay, you've seen the scouting report. Is it changed at all since round one between these two teams? What are the matchups that concern you?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. This is our first go-around, as we talked last night, for the second time through with the same opponent. And so Ross has really just stressed to the guys that it's not about the scouting part of it right now. They know what we're going to run. We know what they're going to run. It's a matter of execution. So I think we're back to, guys, what we've talked about. The big thing for West Virginia is just controlling the ball. Don't turn it over. You've got to cut those down. We mentioned earlier in the week, West Virginia's last in the league right now in turnover percentage, and that's magnified for a team that doesn't have a lot of possessions per game. The style of play that West Virginia uses, you definitely don't want to be leading the league in turnover margin. If you go back to the numbers from the last meeting, Cincinnati had 18 points off turnovers alone, so nearly a third of their points came via that. So that's one of the big messages, guys, is just take care of the ball, take care of the passes, and don't let them get out in transition with those points off turnovers, and you feel pretty good about where you might be.
West Virginia did a very good job of slowing down the talented big men for Cincinnati last time out. Is that a key again, and how difficult will that be?
Yeah, I think it's a key, and Greg, also, as we've talked about, I think Bob Miller's really talented. That's probably a guy you see in the NBA with his body. So the ability to push him out away from the basket and maybe most importantly, keep him off the glass, offensive glass, and don't let him get some putbacks, yes, that's going to be critical. And we talked the other night about how good Harlan has been defensively in helping with the pick and roll, helping against the other team's bigs. He's been outstanding. So, yeah, it's important for him to have another game like he's been having the last few on the defensive end. I do think another part of it to watch is what does Jizzle James give Cincinnati? If you remember, he had just come back to this team when West Virginia played him the first time. I think he was only in his second or third game back. So I would imagine you can expect him to play better than he did that game, probably play some more minutes as his wind is better than it was back then. So Jizzle James is somebody to watch as well, and I would expect him to play better than he did in Morgantown.
Those big players, Brad, not only did they didn't make shots, they combined for just 8 points. They didn't get shots. I mean, they had 11 shots between them.
Yeah, West Virginia did a great job on them, and we were watching some film before we came over here today, and West Virginia just did not allow anything in the lane for the most part, and it forced Cincinnati to take a lot of threes, which the Bearcats want to do. We've mentioned this. They're one of the highest volume three-point shooting teams in the country, yet they don't shoot it very well. Bottom 40 teams in three-point percentage. So West Virginia just kind of did what it did, and there wasn't a lot of coaxing that was involved to get Cincinnati to shoot a lot of threes. They just did that, and you closed off the lane pretty well. Now, Bob Miller was good passing the ball. He had a team-high 6 assists, so that's a little bit of a concern. But I'd rather turn him into a playmaker passing the ball than I would him scoring on you inside. And then as we talked last night with Scott Springer from the Cincinnati Enquirer, what's the status of Mustafa Cham? Left the last game against Houston with that ankle injury, and there's no real definitive word on him. We'll see an injury report come out tonight, although it would surprise me if they just have him as out on that list, but maybe they do. But that's certainly something we're watching at 10 o'clock tonight when that injury report comes out.
Speaking of injuries, illnesses, usually you get this point in the season, every team's had a bunch, but West Virginia really hasn't had that much. Brendan Lorient missed a game or two with an injury early in the year, but for the most part, they've been healthy. Just luck of the draw. Everybody's still pretty healthy right now for the Mountaineers.
Knock on wood, everybody's down there shooting right now. So, yeah, hopefully we're in good shape, and this is the time of year when you're on planes and in close quarters and the flu starts to spread. So, but knock on wood, everybody seems good, and as I said, is down there getting their work in right now. So we should be good. Which also leads in, we talked about Sincere Harris. They expect him to be back tomorrow. Speaking of the flu, he was battling that for the last 7 days or so. So he'll be in the lineup. But I think Chom's really the most important injury to watch with them. Kirk Reese too a little bit. We didn't see him in the first meeting. He has played sporadically since that game with the reported separated shoulder or shoulder injury. So I expect to see him a little bit tomorrow too.
Little over 24 hours away, West Virginia's next tip-off, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, West Virginia at Cincinnati. And, Brad, we appreciate your time. We're glad everybody arrived safely, and I'm sure you will eat well tonight.
We will go back, got a little more film session. And, guys, I will give a real quick plug. That 45-minute flight over here does make you long a little bit for those geographic rivals that we used to have through the years. That was a lot nicer trip than heading out to Arizona last week, I'll tell you that. Weather was nicer in Arizona, but that flight over here was pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll really enjoy it tomorrow night when you get home, about 11 o'clock instead of 5 a.m.?
Well, Kyle, you're a big baseball guy. It's like throwing a no-hitter. Don't ask me about the return trip home until it happens. But, yes, if that's right, then, yes, that'll be great to be back.
Very good. Well, we'll await your return on Friday, and we'll enjoy the game with you tomorrow night.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Brad Howe there in Cincinnati, down in the practice facility. You didn't realize there was a women's game tonight there.
Yeah.
So Baylor, did he say Baylor and Cincinnati?
Yeah, Baylor left here for their women's team from playing Saturday. So this is their 2-game road swing, like many are doing now. West Virginia, Cincinnati, or vice versa, getting one trip over for 2 games. So, yeah, the Bears looking for a little bit of bounce back after their loss to the Mountaineer women going to Cincinnati tonight. So that's put Mountaineer men in the practice facility for their workout.
304 Talk 304 texter says injuries -Cincinnati. I don't know if that's a question, but we covered a lot of that. And again, as Brad mentioned, Chom is the big one there, as we got the report from Scott Springer of the Cincinnati Enquirer last night that he only played, about less than 12 minutes in their game over the weekend because of an ankle, and it's unknown at this point whether he'll be in the lineup or if he'll be at full strength. Who knows? We'll just have to find out. I just have a feeling he won't be on that injury report, and he may or may not be able to play tomorrow night. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Abayev is out, as Scott Springer told us last night. So that's a 8.3 rebound per game guy. Celestine with a back. He's expected to play. Carissa with the shoulder. He's expected to play. And Sincere Harris must have had a horrific case of the flu, because he was sick for about a week, but he's expected to be back too. So I think that pretty much covers it, all of the injury situation with Cincinnati.
Plenty for them. I mean, knock on wood, West Virginia hasn't faced that to this point.
304 Talk 304 texter says, I know of 2 players that can't wait to get back on the floor after being shut down in the last game. And that is true. If those two, if their scoring is limited like it was against Baylor, West Virginia is going to get beat. So you obviously you have to have offense from those 2 guys.
Yeah, need to. Absolutely.
304 Talk 304 texter says, got to say I've been pleased with all of the non-ESPN Plus games recently. Outside of the Peacock games, every game has been on either over-the-air network like Fox or DirecTV available channel. You can even work around the Peacock games by doing a free trial, or since you can see Peacock on up to 5 screens at once, find yourself 4 friends who will split the cost with you. The cost would be minimal. That way your wife would never notice that you've made another subscription. One thing I like this year, I've been a DirecTV customer for, my goodness, 25, maybe 30 years. I don't know. But this year, as part of your subscription, you get a subscription to ESPN Plus. And not only that, some of the, I'm sure there's an algorithm that indicates what I watch the most, and what I watch the most on ESPN Plus are WVU games. So there's channels on your television that come up with ESPN Plus, and the men's games, the women's games, the wrestling have all been up on those ESPN, which allows you to TiVo them and record them. So that's really been nice this year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know there problems because there is a subscription fee there, but the benefit in being able to watch pretty much every women's game when baseball season starts next week.
Right.
Basically every baseball game, other than a couple of road non-conference games, every wrestling match, gymnastics.
But I don't even know what's ESPN Plus cost now. I mean, again, this is the first time I've gotten it free with my DirecTV.
12-ish.
Okay.
I mean, I subscribe.
But you don't pay the bill?
I'd have to ask my wife.
304 Talk 304, Kentucky listener, live in Kentucky across the river from Cincinnati. Can you buy basketball tickets from WVU, or do you have to do StubHub or a ticket outlet?
WVU does not sell road basketball games. They will at times sell road football games, and obviously conference tournaments and postseason and things like that. But I've never known them to sell road basketball games, so you do have to go through Cincinnati. I just looked. Cincinnati still has a few tickets left available for tomorrow night's game, but you can either go there directly or go through one of the secondary markets.
Texter says, we, meaning Greg and I and Brad, we are always the optimists. Bet they get blowed out tomorrow night. Hope they don't, but hopefully they are competitive and put up a fight. Well, I mean, it's going to get more and more difficult for this team to continue to win, I believe. They're capable of it.
Yep.
But, again, the likelihood of holding their two big players to 8 points combined is slim.
That's tough.
So you're going to have to hit some shots. You're going to have to outscore them tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to find a way. Though I'm not going to apologize for being an optimist.
304 Talk 304. Texter asks, what's going on with the heating and the cooling at Hope Coliseum? Well, the new president has come out with, I'm not sure if it's a plan. It might be something to that he will work on trying to find the funds for. But there has been talk about installing air conditioning in the Coliseum to have more events during the summer, when it gets warmer in the spring, when it's still warm in September, perhaps concerts, that type of thing.
Yeah, which certainly could be money-making. I don't think a lot of people realize it because they're not in there. Now, the offices and such have air conditioning when it works. But the arena part is not air-conditioned. So West Virginia's hope is that they can, put a whole new HVAC system in that would include air conditioning for the arena area itself, and thus allow them to make that usable 12 months. And then you could have those concerts and some of those things that could generate revenue for the athletic department. President Benson spoke. It was WVU Day at the legislature, and I think that's where that came out. But, we're talking about...
He's said it before. It's...
Yeah. And WVU officials have said that for a long time. But you're talking... It's not like going to Lowe's and picking up a window air conditioner. We're talking about multi-millions, $25 million to do the whole thing.
304 Talk 304. Texter says, saw today that Brad Mosser from Princeton signed his letter of intent with WVU. Always pull for those in-state kids, and that is correct. In fact, Brad Mosser will join us on High School Sportsline tonight, the show that airs immediately following the Sportsline, 7:06 until 9 o'clock. And Brad Mosser of Princeton scheduled to be a guest during the second hour of that show on the day he signs his letter of intent.
And when we spoke earlier about those that would sign today, it's guys like that who've committed. Now, there are a couple out there that are still sort of looking, haven't signed anywhere, haven't committed anywhere, that could potentially add their names in as well. But a Brad Mosser, who committed a while ago, but did so after the initial signing period, he's the type of kid that would sign today. And apparently has.
Right. We got to get this break in. We'll do that, and we'll be back on the Sports Line.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps, and never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
High School Sportsline is coming up on Metro News in a matter of minutes, and here's the complete lineup. We will talk about Washington's win over Spring Mills last night, boys basketball. That's a big story. Spring Mills, the defending Quad A champ. Xavier Anderson did not play. Did not play in the game. Don't quite know why, but he did not play. So that was significant, and Washington beat Spring Mills. Also, Kennedy Porter of Parkersburg, girls hoop standout, will join us. She's averaging a double-double for a state championship contender in Parkersburg. The West Virginia dual wrestling meet championships for the high school level. We'll talk about that. We'll preview that event. Again, Brad Mosser from Princeton's going to join us. Peyton Ilderton, the former Logan High School standout, who's playing for Marshland women's basketball. We'll have a conversation with her as well. Greg, we got about 20 seconds, but one more quick text. Are all the football transfers enrolled? If not, who is not enrolled?
There are a couple that aren't. I can't give you the names. I don't have that list with me right now. But a vast majority are, and there are a lot of the high school and junior college kids that are. But there are a few, but not many.
We'll be back tomorrow night with the Sportsline.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.